Everyone these days travels to Japan, and I mean everyone. Luckily, there's a country that is pretty similar and right next door to Japan, with a super interesting culture, great nature and delicious food.
Oh my god, this is so good.
But without the masses of tourists. And this country is South Korea. I traveled South Korea for 3 weeks, exploring its cities, beaches, food and national parks, and all that as a total beginner to East Asia.
I hope I'm right here. Actually, I'm so lost.
As always, everything I do will be on a traveler's budget.
I found the craziest second-hand shop.
So let's buckle up and explore South Korea.
Alright, that's it. First day in Seoul, South Korea. A completely new country. I don't know anything about the country, about the city, and I arrived here yesterday quite late at Incheon Airport, and everything was super confusing and pretty straightforward at the same time. Hope I'm right here. Actually, I'm so lost. So it took me a little bit to get cash out, get a SIM card, get the T-Money card, and then actually take the train into the hostel. So when I arrived in the hostel, it was what, 11 o'clock or something like that, so I didn't film all too much. And today is going to be the first exploration day in Seoul, but before that we gotta fuel up, so I gotta find a place for breakfast. Okay, first little setback of the day, the little toasty shop that I wanted to go to is closed.
I found myself a ridiculously big coffee and some breakfast in a shop right next door, and then threw myself into the metro jungle to get to my first sightseeing spot of the day.
Alright, so this is it, Gyeongbokgung Temple, South Korea's biggest tourist attraction. And apparently today it's supposed to be free entry. Let's find out if that's the case.
Gyeongbokgung Palace, the grandest of Seoul's 5 royal palaces. Built in 1395, it was the heart of the Joseon dynasty, symbolizing power and tradition. As you walk through its majestic gates, you'll discover vibrant pavilions, tranquil courtyards and traditional ceremonies. Gyeongbokgung is the largest palace in Seoul, covering over 40 hectares with hundreds of restored buildings.
Right, so apparently we are at Gwangyonggok, I think, Hall, which is the Queen's residence that had been built just right next to the King's residence. So apparently they weren't staying together, even though I suppose they were married, something like that.
You can easily explore this place half a day, but even if it's just 1 hour you spend there, you cannot visit Seoul without visiting this palace.
I have no idea what this is, but it looks interesting. It's kind of unexpected having this right next to, well, South Korea's biggest, most common temple. You find this.
After a quick 7-Eleven lunch stop, I walked over to the Bukchon Hanok village, a living neighborhood of traditional Korean houses called Hanok. Once home to aristocrats during the Joseon dynasty, today it's a place where history meets daily life. As you wander its narrow lanes, you'll find beautifully preserved wooden homes, tea houses and small cultural workshops. Perched on a hillside, the village also offers stunning views over modern Seoul, creating a unique contrast between old and new. The next thing on my list was Changdeokgung Palace, conveniently placed only about 15 minutes walk from the Hanok village.
So Changdeokgung Palace is one of the 5 big palaces they have here in Seoul. It's been built in like the 15th century, really early, like 1405 or something like that. They built it here, and it was like the other one as well. It was a bit of a residence for the royal family here, and enclosed in the palace compound is the secret garden that we're hopefully going to see in due course. Righto, bad news. The tickets to the secret garden for at least the tours in the next 2 hours are sold out. Well, I reckon that's the convenience about watching travel YouTube videos. Somebody else makes the mistake for you. I made the mistake for you that I didn't book a ticket in advance, and now everything is sold out. So whenever you come to Seoul, Korea and you want to visit the secret garden, probably think twice and do a little research and then book a ticket in advance.
I used the time that I had now and explored the Insadong neighborhood, and it instantly felt like stepping into a blend of touristy craftsman shops, street art and tea houses, and all wrapped in this unique Korean pop culture.
If you come to the area, if you're in Seoul, definitely check out Insadong. Like, it's so interesting just watching what all the different shops offer, because it's pretty much everything. Like, whatever you want to find, you definitely find it there. Loads of it you won't need, but it was still kind of cool to check it out.
We ended the day in Hongdae, one of Seoul's nightlife areas, fueled by neon lights, K-pop and plenty of soju.
The metro bus is close to like the residential area.
Righto, second day in Seoul, South Korea. We just came over to the National Museum of Korea, and it's free entry. We love free entry. We're gonna meet up with a couple of people from Hostel World, then go inside and see what the National Museum has to offer.
Honest opinion, the National Museum is worth a visit, but more so for its impressive architecture than the actual exhibitions. But it's definitely a valid option for a cheap indoor activity.
I've never seen a missile up close. Like, never. How would you, right? Like, if you're not like working in a missile construction company or whatever. This is all different types of missiles. Jesus Christ. Oh, all the helicopters over there.
What is really weird is like this children place in the middle.
Yes. On a scale 1 to 10, how weird is this place? Like, the setup. That's so crazy. Alright, so we're all pretty hungry, almost hangry, so it's time to do a little Seoul street food adventure. And for that we came to a place that's called Mangwon Market. Apparently it is this kind of market that's more for Koreans and there's not too many tourists, and pretty much here we're the only Westerners, so that's quite promising. So let's go over to Mangwon Market and then try a couple of the typical South Korean street food dishes that they have here. I'm quite excited and also super hungry, so let's go.
That's the 2 words I know. 안녕하세요.
Ah, okay. It's interesting. It's not something I could have every day, you know. Okay, a rating out of 10. I'm gonna give it a 4, like, honestly. It's, yeah. It's a rating out of 10 for the tteokbokki. It's probably a 4. A joint rating in the group. We probably expected a little more because it's so famous, you know, but yeah, I mean, that's the thing. If I had it as the last dish and I'm actually already full, I'd be like, ugh, you know, a bit grossed out just by the texture. Now I'm just so hungry. I'm like, yeah. But we have to guess what we think it is, right? I reckon it's octopus. Should be octopus.
Yeah, it could be.
Or you find out by the shaking. Do you know how to shake an octopus arm? Okay, you go. Yeah. It looked pretty chewy, the piece that came out.
It was bad. It's weird, you know, but it's not bad.
The rice in it is super, it's a texture. It's not, that's not winning me over.
Oh wow. I don't like it at all.
No, I don't want to finish it.
I can't do the whole thing.
I really don't like it.
The next day I made my way up to the Iwa Mural Village, a hillside neighborhood transformed by a lot of art. What was once a fading district is now alive with colorful wall paintings, quirky sculptures and hidden stairway murals. From playful street art to breathtaking views over downtown Seoul. It felt less like visiting a tourist spot and more like wandering through an open-air gallery, with the city as its backdrop. Later on, I teamed up with Elsa from my hostel to check out the Dongdaemun Design Plaza, which had something like a kids' day going on.
We're probably going to check out the museum here and see what interesting things we find.
The ongoing exhibition, which featured astronautic stuff built with household appliances, was interesting. However, the strict no-film policy made it difficult to record anything.
So we're at the metro station now to go to Myeongdong because you can't leave Seoul without having seen Myeongdong. And we bought these things that they have here. It's called Hoodoo King. And they look like little walnuts, but like it's dough, but it's pressed into a walnut form, and then it's filled with different creams like red bean cream, and we've got custard. Trying those custard cream ones now and see what they're all about, because when it's sold, you have to try all the food that you can get your hands on. No filming? No, I'm good. I'm good, thank you. I'm good. It's fine. I don't need it. I'm good, thank you. Right, let's go check out Myeongdong Shopping Street, which has pretty much all the shopping you want, not in a mall but in a street. And then also it's supposed to have really good street food, so we'll see if that's true and if we can find any of that. But other than that, just stroll around, because you can't leave Seoul without having been to Myeongdong. It's pretty much the first thing that always comes up when you ask people what to do in Seoul. Dumplings. Das sieht auch wild aus, Eggfried. 감사합니다. Right, first try Korean pancake. It's not sweet. No.
I like it a lot.
And it feels like it's healthy, which is good after all the oily, deep fried stuff that we had over the past days.
Yes.
Thumbs up. So we found ourselves a Korean candy store or something like that. And I don't even know what they sell here. Everything is like almond, but it's huge. It's a whole bloody mall just for like candy almond stuff. Look at this. It is a bit of a weird country, this. Okay, I'm gonna try the cherry. So the cool part about this store is that you can try everything. All have these like little try-out boxes, and some of that is actually really nice. The cherry one from just now wasn't, but other things really nice.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Good morning. No voice. Oh my God, what happened? Good morning, everyone. How are you?
Great.
Good morning. Thank you so much. So good morning. My name is Shimba, and I'm your tour guide for today's DNG tour. So JSA means Joint Security Area. So in there, we can see the North Korean soldier in front. So our first destination is like Galaxy, like Bridge.
Of course. When in South Korea, you do a DMZ tour to the North Korean border. My tour was about a 9-hour tour, and spoiler alert, slightly underwhelming.
So we're currently waiting at the International Crane Center. It takes about 20 minutes or so until our tickets get issued to be able to enter the second tunnel, which is like the second kind of actual waypoint we do today. But for that, we just have to kind of wait out here. And there's this, I don't know, kind of weird little exhibition about cranes and their lives and stuff. I was just in the crane center and we just had a little look at it. And now I'm just kind of wandering around waiting for the tickets to get issued so that we can keep going with our DMZ tour.
So Team Simba, make a one line here. Make a one line.
Filming is difficult on the DMZ tour. However, we did visit one of the tunnels that lead right up to the North Korean territory, and also visited an observatory from which you can see North Korea with your own eyes.
The Korea Workers' Party headquarters. So as I mentioned, this is the only North Korean building that we can see in South Korea. So back in the old days, before the Korean War, this land used to be the North Korean territory. But after the Korean War, it became a South Korean territory.
We get like the cheapest ones, right?
Yeah, whatever cheapest tickets.
We are 4.
Righto, there's one very last thing that I'm going to do in Seoul, and that's going to be a baseball game. We just bought our tickets and we're going into the stadium and watch a Korean baseball game, because baseball is pretty big in Korea, it's pretty big in Japan. I don't know about Taiwan actually, but here, yeah, it's super big. People watch it all the time, and me being an ex-baseball player, very low level anyways, but I've played it. I'm super excited to go to a Korean baseball game and watch it all firsthand. So let's go in and see what it's like. If you ever want to see Koreans getting all excited, well, visit a baseball game then. Good morning from South Korea in Daegu. So why am I in Daegu? Full disclosure, I had initially planned to go to Seoul on the eastern coast and to do some hiking there. But then apparently the park where I was hiking, the national park, is closed. All the hiking trails are closed until mid-May, so I can't really do that. And then I thought about I'm going to Busan straight away. But because it's this weird weekend where they have like a long holiday, everything in Busan, everything in Seoul, everywhere really was booked out. And what I found was Daegu. So I'm in Daegu now, fourth biggest city, and it's not really a tourist highlight, not by any means. I'm apparently the only Westerner, it seems, in the city, and then I have this camera that I talk into. I'm just currently getting stared on right away. And there's still a couple of things that you can do when you're in Daegu, and this is what I'm planning to. So the first thing that I'm going to be doing today is going to Kim Kwang-suk Memorial Street, I think it's called. Righto, I think this is it. This is Kim Kwang-suk Street. That is the famous thing that they were talking about. Kim Kwang-suk was a super popular folk singer that's been born here in the late 60s in Daegu. And he didn't get all that old. He only died when he was 31. But in his very short years of the career that he had, he became like super popular. And he was a bit of a symbol for the Koreans, that they went away from like a more communist kind of point of view to like more individualism. And he played a big part in that. This wasn't a project done by the city. It was actually just individual artists who thought they had to commemorate this singer by putting up this street and kind of dedicating the entire street with all the artworks that they did here on the walls and all the sculptures and everything to commemorate the life of this singer, Kim Kwang-suk. Next up was visiting the Apsan Park. However, I was still struggling to figure out how the bus system works, so I missed the first one and then took the wrong one. Eventually, I made it to the gondola that was taking me up to the top station and the observatory. This is the Apsan Mountain Observatory, so let's go check out the view. If you find yourself in Daegu for whatever reason, don't leave the city without enjoying the view from the top of Apsan Mountain. This was probably one of my best moments in Korea, especially because I initially didn't expect anything from this city. Rightio, what I'm doing now, because it's quite late already, is I'm going to Seoul Market, which opens at 6:30. It's about 6:10 or something. So I'm going to take the metro over, and then we're going to check out Seoul Market, which is one of the biggest Korean traditional kind of street markets there are, well, in South Korea, and it has a whole lot of, street food, all the things that you want to have a look at. I opted to walk to the market, passing by the main shopping district, which seemed super upmarket and much nicer than the area where my hotel was located. Another moment where Daegu really surprised me. We made it to Seoul Night Market, which is just about to open now, whilst the other one's closing. So the regular Seoul Market is closing now. But the night market is slowly coming to life. Ooh, and what a life. I'm just going to turn around the camera. So this is what you get here. A whole bunch of street food. And the cool thing is it looks like people from Korea go here and eat as well. I'm probably, again, just like one of very few foreigners. Oh, one. Oh my god, this is so good.
I don't know what I'm eating, but oh my god. Well, you have to go for the weird experiences, don't you? And this is why I got myself a king corn dog. It has sugar on it, but tomato sauce and a sausage inside. It's the weirdest thing ever. And I was like, okay, sometimes you just have to go for it. And so far, it's not even that bad, but it's definitely a thing to get used to, for sure.
I've probably visited 20 plus food and night markets all over Asia. This night market in Daegu was for sure one of the best. No tourist bullshit, just straightforward, good, cheap, super tasty and authentic food, and only locals around. Probably my top recommendation for anyone who ends up in Daegu.
It's such a different vibe because there's no one here and you can just really explore this by yourself. And just like that, I'm in Gyeongju.